Hey, what's going on? I'm Matt O'Leary back with another video, and today what we're going to be talking about is CJ Mosley being cleared and all ready to go. But before we get started, I just wanted to mention that you can follow me on social media at Matt O'Leary NY on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that fun stuff. Also, if you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe to the podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Just Jets, new episodes every single Monday. You can call in, leave me your questions, and I'll get to them on the show. So we got some really good news yesterday. CJ Mosley is fully cleared to go and expects to be ready to go whenever training camp starts. Last year for the New York Jets, after signing a big contract, he played just 2 games. Week 1 against the Buffalo Bills, where he looked really good, and then they kind of rushed him back to play against New England, where he really didn't look the same, and then they shut him down after that because it was clear they rushed him back and he wasn't good to go. In that Bills game, he was an absolute beast. He had a pick 6, he had a deflection in the end zone on a play that would have been a touchdown, and then on top of that, he had 6 tackles. When he left the game, momentum switched just like that. It was very, very obvious that the team looked completely different with CJ Mosley on the field versus without CJ Mosley on the field. And when you look at what the Jets inside linebacker duo projects to be in 2020 and compare it to what it was last year, it's a huge upgrade. Avery Williamson and CJ Mosley are 2 very, very good starters. I would argue that CJ Mosley is elite, and or very close to elite, and I would say that Avery Williamson is an above average inside linebacker. With all due respect to Neville Hewitt, Burgess, Blake Cashman, and the laundry list of names that played inside linebacker last year, they are not anywhere close to the same level at what this duo could be, and they played 0 regular season games together last year. Williamson missed the entire year because he tore his ACL in the preseason game against the Falcons, and CJ Mosley really only played an effective 3 quarters. So almost the entire season they were without their really good inside linebacker duo. In 2019, Mosley had again, just 2 games, but he had a 75 Pro Football Focus grade. The year prior it was 70.1. This guy is a legitimate starting inside linebacker. He really isn't someone who's going to rack up a bunch of sacks. He had just 1.5 since the start of 2016, but he is someone who you could pencil in for 100 tackles every year. He's going to be really good in the run game. He's going to be able to cover running backs out of the backfield. He's not going to rush the passer all that well, but the Jets don't necessarily need him to do that. He could do pretty much everything else that you'd ask of a middle linebacker. I'm really excited to watch both Williamson and Mosley get to work in 2020. Like I said, this defense was really good last year and was without 2 of their bigger pieces on the inside of that middle linebacker duo. And when you look at Quinnen Williams potentially taking that next step in his development, there's a chance this defense could be really good. They look good on paper, but when you look at what the Jets' schedule is and the amount of high-powered offenses they're going to have to face versus what they faced last year, yes, they might look better on paper this year by a bunch, but to expect them to improve significantly from a 10th overall defense in DVOA, I think is a little bit extreme. Could they repeat and finish somewhere maybe like in that 10 to 14 range? I'd argue probably yes, but to expect them to be a top 5 defense, I think is going to be a little bit difficult when you look at what their schedule looks like for 2020. Regardless, this is phenomenal news for the New York Jets, who paid CJ Mosley a ton of money to come in here and be a leader on this defense. Yes, you have Jamal Adams to be a leader. We understand that, but it's different from safety and a middle linebacker because the plays are going in to CJ Mosley's helmet. We understand this. That's how it works. And he is like having another coach on the field. A lot of people think very, very highly of this guy. He's a very smart player. He knows the ins and outs of Greg Williams' defense. So I'm really excited to see what he can do in 2020. Let me know what you think about CJ Mosley being cleared in the comments down below or on social media. Make sure to subscribe if you're new here. Once again, I'm Matt O'Leary, and I'll talk to you next time.